Week 14. Happy Isaac Gorendo Day.
Happy Isaac Gorendo Day for those who celebrate.
We all celebrate Isaac Gorendo Day. But we did get a surprise inactive right before we went live. George Pickens is going to be out. But why don't we run through the inactives and actives real quick, like we usually do. So DeAndre Swift is playing, as is DJ Moore. Now, Malik Neighbors is playing. However, there was a report this morning that he could be in a limited role. So I'm shying away from Malik Neighbors this week. Devontae Smith is back. Mike Evans is good to go. Bucky Irving's good to go. Not expected to play is Dalton Kincaid. Dallas Goedert's out. Jalen Coker is out. Roschon Johnson, Cedric Tillman, Zamir White, Alexander Madison. Those guys are all out, as are Raheem Mostert, Breece Hall, George Pickens, and Kenneth Walker. And then your true game time decisions are Ladd McConkey and Keon Coleman. Sam, what do you make of the George Pickens news? What are we doing with that?
Man, it's Calvin Austin season, baby.
Yes. I shot him up the rankings just before we came on.
Yeah.
Shot him up there, top 30.
I changed my rankings as well, and that was I knocked Wilson down a couple pegs because without Pickens in there, I'm just not sure how much success he's going to have. But if if Cleveland is fairly reasonable at stopping the run today, he's going to have to throw. So he's going to have to throw to somebody. So
Yep.
I like Calvin Austin, and I like Freiermuth in this game as well, and maybe even see some extra Jaylen Warren, and they'll just instead of shooting for the big play, just move it downfield however they can.
Yeah, not gonna lie, even before the George Pickens news, because of Bob McGedden, I had a few teams where I was already starting not Cedric Tillman, Calvin Austin in my flex spot in a couple leagues. I was starting him over. I was debating this morning, should I start Calvin Austin or Sterling Shepard? I was like, you know what? I'd rather have a guy that could potentially give me a 0, but could also has the upside to give me, like 2 for 62 and a touchdown, over a guy like Sterling Shepard who's like locked in for 4 catches for 32 yards with 0 upside. So, with this Pickens news, it's absolutely lock in Calvin Austin. I think he's a top 30 wide receiver this week. So he's
I don't hate that at all. And as far as the if I could switch gears a little bit, as far as the DeAndre Swift news, RIP my Travis Homer.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think he might still be usable. No Roschon Johnson.
I felt so dirty picking him up anyway. It felt kind of good to take him out of my lineup.
Yeah. Well, he was the most added player on Sleeper, so you're not the only one.
Yeah. But he was still trending up today.
Roschon Johnson gets a lot of those passing down snaps. I think we're still going to see a little bit of Travis Homer today. Remember, at the beginning of the season, Roschon Johnson was a healthy scratch in week 1 in favor of Travis Homer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give up yet. Starting, but all right. What do we got here? Do you got any your Twitter questions?
Let me check right here.
Perhaps some from TikTok while you're looking. How about Isaiah Pacheco or Malik Neighbors in the flex? I think I would lean towards Isaiah Pacheco in that one. Normally, I'd say maybe we can go Neighbors, but sounds like Neighbors is going to be limited today, despite being active. Zach Charbonnet or Bucky Irving? Charbonnet or Bucky Irving? Bucky Irving?
Yeah.
Zach Charbonnet?
I think I had that same question.
Really? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I have them ranked back to back.
Okay. Well, which one is higher?
So I opted for Bucky, just the way he's been playing, even though last night I just talked about how great Charbonnet is when Kenneth Walker's out.
Yeah.
If Arizona gets their act together, then Seattle's going to have to throw a lot more. So I lean towards Bucky in that matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I got Bucky a ring. How about from Zach? Should we stick with Russell Wilson or go with Geno Smith or Will Levis? Anybody had any recent hot takes about Will Levis?
Can't think of anybody. I don't think of any. I can't think of anybody. I do like Levis this week a lot. And and it's Calvin Ridley revenge game. Man, it's hard to say, but yeah, I'd play Levis before I'd play Russell Wilson. I might play Geno Smith before either one. Arizona's pass defense is just not very good. So I would go Geno, Levis, Wilson in this case.
Okay. I'm gonna go Wilson, Geno, Levis.
Okay, so we're glad we could help, Zach. I think what we're saying is go with your gut. I mean, Russell Wilson has been playing awfully well. So he stands to find somebody to throw to. And he's going to have to if Cleveland does anything to the run game.
Although
Geno is kind of old reliable, but he depends on the receivers to do yards after the catch quite often, which is not something you can really count on. And Levis is just. It's just I still feel weird saying I like Levis right now.
I'm going to take back my answer because even though we spent 5 minutes talking about George Pickens being out at the top of the show, I forgot already that George Pickens was out. So knock Russell Wilson down. Right. Go with Geno Smith.
Okay.
I totally forgot.
As
we were talking, I realized.
Okay, we both agree Geno Smith.
Which means Russell Wilson's going to have a huge game today.
That's right.
How about Mr. Magic, Chuba Hubbard or Rachaad White? Chuba Hubbard's got a tough matchup against the Eagles. They're starting to work in Jonathan Brooks a little bit more. But it's looking like the Bucky Irving show. However, Rachaad White has a better matchup going against the Raiders.
Yeah.
With all that said, I do have Chuba Hubbard ranked just ahead of Rachaad White. I still think Rachaad White's usable. Despite the Bucky Irving
I do too, but I did not expect him to get as few touches as he did last week. But if that continues, that's no bueno. I'm going with Chuba Hubbard in this situation too.
Yeah, I have them back to back. Chuba Hubbard over Rachaad White. All it takes is Chuba Hubbard getting a couple checkdowns. You'll be all right. Zach also reminding me that Pickens is out. Vince is asking, play it safe with Juwan Jennings or gamble that Ladd McConkey is good to go?
I don't like gambling on players, but I believe McConkey will play. If he does, I have him ranked significantly higher.
Significantly higher.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, you were like the Juwan Jennings leader of the world.
Dude, it's matchups, man. It's matchups. I was the Juwan Jennings leader of the world, like for that week, But I have, let me see if I can find it again, because I even surprised myself with this.
I think they both got tough matchups. The Chiefs don't have to be pushed over as far as the passing game is concerned, unless you're a tight end.
I have.
With that said, I do have Ladd McConkey ranked ahead of Juwan Jennings, but it's not by quite the wide margin that sounds like you have him. if you want to play it super safe, I have no problem going Juwan Jennings. But like you said, I do think Ladd McConkey's going to play. He gives me the feel of that type of guy who just plays through everything, like a Cooper Kupp type guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like an Aaron Jones.
I have Ladd McConkey ranked 16 among my wide receivers, and I have Juwan Jennings ranked 26th.
Yeah, coming earlier in the week, I had Ladd McConkey as high as like 13 in my wide receiver rankings, but with the injury stuff, I bumped him down to 20. You have Jennings at 36.
Yeah, no, 26.
Okay. I got him at 24. Okay, we're not far off. All right. I think we can gamble with Ladd, but if you don't have anybody else that you could play, can you pick up a Brandon Cooks from Monday Night Football or if something happens and McConkey is surprisingly not active?
Yeah, just make sure you got a backup
You can have a
ready
backup
to go
plan.
if you're going to gamble on McConkey. But I think he's going to play.
I do too, but I feel fine with going with Jennings if we need to. Mr. Magic stuck between Jacoby Myers and Jackson Smith and Jigba all week. I believe he asked me this question on Breaking Fantasy Football last night, so I'll give you the platform here.
Jacoby's been a little banged up lately, and JSN has been, pretty consistent of late. And against that Arizona defense, I'm going to opt for JSN in this situation.
Yeah, so if it weren't for the Jacoby Myers injury, I would say Jacoby Myers. And actually, my answer last night was Jacoby Myers. But I was actually thinking about that specific question after the show. And this morning, I made the change in my rankings, and I moved Jacoby Myers down a few spots and Jackson Smith and Jigba up a few spots. So I agree with you. I'm going to go JSN.
Sounds like you and Mr. Magic are both losing sleep over this one.
Yes. I lost a little bit of sleep about it. Nikhil is asking Deebo Samuel or Calvin Austin in half PPR. Finally, a Calvin Austin question. We also got MVS and Nick Westbrook-Akine to consider.
You're not going to like what I have to say.
All right.
I think Deebo Samuel's he's going to blow up this week.
Really?
I do.
The fakest wide receiver in the league is going to blow up?
I do. With those kick returns last week and everything, all they did was remind that coaching staff what he can do with the ball in his hands. And if they aren't trying to get the ball in his hands, they're fools.
Well, with McCaffrey out, the role is definitely going to expand for Deebo Samuel. We love Isaac Orlando, but he's going to lose some backfield touches to Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get some opportunities in the backfield. So I do have Calvin Austin higher than Deebo Samuel by just a smidgen. As far as MVS, Nick Westbrook-Akine, I have them both lower than both of those guys. So for me, it would be slight edge to Calvin Austin. I think Deebo Samuel is definitely the safer play here.
Yeah, I think the problem I have in this Pittsburgh-Cleveland game is in the AFC North, you just never know what the game script is going to end up being. This game could be 10-9 or it could be, 34-31. So it just makes me worry a little bit about playing Steelers or Browns.
I hear you. Nikhil also has Jalen Hurts. Should I have a backup quarterback just in case for the playoff weeks? Available quarterbacks are Will Levis, Jameis Winston, Derek Carr. My answer to this is if those are the quarterbacks who are available on your waiver wire, then it means that if anything happens to Jalen Hurts, you have a wide variety to choose from off the waiver wire in that situation. I don't think there's any need to stash one of these guys in the case of a possible Jalen Hurts injury. What do you think?
I agree with you. You're going to have to give up that roster spot in order to roster one of these guys. And if there's already people on the waiver wire, that just tells me that somebody's going to be available for you if something happens to Jalen.
Yeah. I want handcuff running backs, not handcuff quarterbacks.
Right.
Jack is asking PPR, have to sit one of these guys between Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Khalil Shakir, Jalen Waddle. He's looking for floor over ceiling. Who do we sit here?
Why don't you take this? I want to look at my rankings here real quick.
Okay. So I love Khalil Shakir this week. Brian Thomas Jr. worries me. He can be ceiling. He can be a 0 with Mac Jones at quarterback. And I don't know how high the ceiling really is with Mac Jones at quarterback. He can't push the ball down the field. Jalen Waddle gave you that 1 week, and then he went right back down last week. Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is interesting to me. Malik Neighbors worries me because of the report this morning that, yes, while he's active, yes, he is going to play. However, there was a report that specifically said it's very possible that this could be a limited role for Malik Neighbors with his injuries. So we got to sit one of these guys. The safest situation here, I think, would be to sit Malik Neighbors. I think his floor is last year's T. Higgins, who was active and then stood on the sideline for the entire game. That could be a potential situation here for Malik Neighbors. Normally I would go Neighbors, but that report really worried me.
Yeah, man, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go. Let me come back here.
We only got till 1 o'clock.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Waddle. I'd sit Waddle. He had that one game. I still don't trust him.
That would have been next on my list. How about is Amari Cooper a better stash than Keon Coleman and Cedric Tillman?
No. Cedric Tillman is the best stash of this group.
Okay. That's fair. I can get down with that. I don't know if he's ever come back with his concussion, but he's been out for a while. I do like Cooper. I still believe Amari Cooper and Josh Allen, they're going to find their way together. But I think you're probably right. Cedric Tillman, he was looking really good for those first few weeks after the Cooper trade. He's got Jameis Winston as his quarterback.
They're going to be playing from behind.
Yeah. I think you're right. All right. How about Juwan Jennings or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, flip a coin, Marvin Harrison. Isaiah is asking Ladd McConkey or Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp,
yeah. I think injury or no injury to Ladd, the answer here is Cooper Kupp. But the injury just makes it easier to go Cooper Kupp. How about DJ Moore and Mike Evans?
Mike Evans by far.
Yeah, I do like DJ Moore this week, but I think the sole focus of the Buccaneers offense right now is to get Mike Evans 1,000 yards. So they're gonna feed it to him.
And not only that defense gives up to outside receivers, gives up some ungodly amount of yards per game.
I like this one. How about Ryan on TikTok is asking Trey Tucker, Sterling Shepard, or David Moore?
Trey Tucker.
Yeah, Trey Tucker. I totally forgot last night when I talked about Trey Tucker as a sleeper. I was making a case for Trey Tucker. I totally forgot to talk about the Buccaneers defense. The Buccaneers defense just gets torched by wide receivers. So I go Trey Tucker there. Charbonnet or DeAndre Swift?
I'm going to go Charbonnet here.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Zach Charbonnet. He's going to get a ton of workload. Braylon Allen or Rico Dowdle? Braylon Allen? Yeah.
I
know you like Isaiah Davis.
No, I don't. I just did that to suggest somebody else besides Braylon. I love Braylon Allen.
Yeah.
I love him. But Rico Dowdle is such a good matchup. If it were me, I would play Braylon Allen.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Braylon Allen. It is close though. Bucky Irving. I mean, Rico Dowdle. Fantastic matchup this week against the lowly Bengals.
Oh, come on, dude.
I could only say that because I'm a fan of the lowly Patriots.
Right.
Isaiah, Bucky Irving, Lad McConkey, James Cook, pick one. It's gonna be Bucky Irving, right? I believe it's gonna be Bucky
I'm sorry,
Irving.
what was that again?
Bucky Irving, Lad McConkey, James Cook. We're picking one of these guys.
We're going James Cook.
Ooh, okay, all right. On the road in LA. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go Bucky Irving. I think he's gonna continue to eat against a bad Raiders defense.
All James Cook does is score touchdowns.
DeAndre Hopkins or Jalen Waddle. I think I would lean Jalen Waddle there.
What is it again?
DeAndre Hopkins or Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I guess Waddle.
Yeah, I don't feel good about either one of them.
No.
Darnell Mooney, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jordan Addison.
JSN.
Yeah, I agree. JSN. How about AJ Brown or Jacoby Myers?
I think AJ Brown probably.
All right, I guess we got to go with the stud wide receiver in AJ Brown going against the Panthers. How about Trey Benson, Blake Corum, or a man named Sincere McCormick? Who's the better
How many
stash?
leagues are you in, Khalil or Nikhil?
This is the better. This is a stash question. Who are we stashing?
Who's the better stash, Benson, Corum, or McCormick? It's Benson.
Okay, I'm gonna say Blake Corum, but I love them both.
I do too. I don't think you can go wrong here.
I don't think so either. The only way you go wrong is if the other guy's starter gets injured.
Yeah, well, you can go wrong if you take Sincere McCormick.
Yeah, unless you need a guy right now. But
right. Well, even Madison's playing now, so
Madison's out.
Madison's playing. Madison. Oh, that's right. He said he was going to play, and now he's out.
Yeah, he lied.
I did lie.
No, he lied.
He did lie.
How about Sam Darnold or Justin Herbert?
I think it's got to be Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. Russell Wilson or Justin Herbert? Still
Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Malik Neighbors, Bucky Irving, Tony Pollard. We're tossing out Neighbors, so Bucky Irving or Tony Pollard.
Pollard's got a good matchup too.
Yeah, he does. I think I have them. I'm gonna pull it up. I think I have them ranked back to back. I think I have them both as top 12 running backs this week.
I would say you got to keep riding with Bucky Irving as long as he's playing this well.
Yeah. I got Bucky Irving, RB10, Tony Pollard, RB11.
Yeah, I'll take Bucky Irving on the coin flip.
Yeah, I agree. Should we sit Tyrone Tracy or Aaron Jones? Or should we start Tyrone Tracy or Aaron Jones? Not to confuse you. Tyrone Tracy, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a case of fumbleitis, but I guess so does Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, Tyrone Tracy, I was surprised at where I ended up having him ranked at the end. Like, I try not to pay attention to my rankings as I go. And then I was real surprised with where I put him. I'm going to say Aaron Jones.
All right, I'm going to go Tyrone Tracy against the Saints. How about Neighbors or Thielen?
I'm assuming this is a PPR league. although they're pretty much the same. I guess Thielen just because of the injury.
Yeah, Thielen, I think, is a safer play. Michael is asking full PPR, pick 2. Nick Chubb, Zach Charbonnet, Najee Harris, Tyrone Tracy. Pick 2 of these guys.
Tracy and Charbonnet.
Yeah, easy. Tracy and Charbonnet, definitely. Elijah Moore, Brian Thomas Jr., DeAndre Hopkins. Elijah Moore, Brian Thomas Jr., DeAndre Hopkins.
That's it?
That's it. I might want to go Elijah Moore.
Yeah, Elijah Moore.
Yeah, Elijah Moore. Jacoby Myers or Drake London?
Drake London.
Yeah, I agree. How about Darnell Mooney or Rashad White? I wish you could see the spelling of Rashad in this.
That's all right. None of us can get it right. That's not true. I always get it right. Man, I tell you what, I always feel really weird when I think about playing Darnell Mooney, but I'm just not encouraged by what Rashad has done lately. I'm gonna say Mooney.
I think we got to fire up Mooney. I agree. He's kind of been quiet the last few weeks, but just when you think Kirk Cousins is out, Darnell Mooney's out, they're gonna come back with a vengeance.
To the Mooney.
To the Mooney. Michael is asking Tua Tagovailoa or Patrick Mahomes.
It's got to be Tua. I think. Who's Tua playing? Oh, Buffalo?
No, Tua's playing the Jets.
Oh, Tua's playing the Jets. Mahomes
is playing the Chargers.
Right, yeah, and that much I know. I'm 90% sure this is Tua for me, but let me look real quick.
All right, while you're looking, I got Mahomes
Tua. I'll go Tua.
2 slots ahead of Tua. All right. Calvin Austin, Devontae Smith, or Pat Freiermuth?
Calvin Austin, Devontae Smith, or Pat Freiermuth. I like Devontae coming back, except that I don't know that Philadelphia is going to throw the ball very much.
Yeah, that's a worry. Yep.
With Pickens out, I like Freiermuth and Austin. I guess for floor, I'd say Freiermuth, and if you want the possibility of a higher ceiling, Austin.
Okay. So Freiermuth, Austin, Devontae Smith. I'm still gonna lean Devontae Smith, but I have the same concern that you do as far as the game script in that game, especially first game back from a multi-game hamstring injury. I just think this is probably gonna be a Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts game.
It really should. And I mean, any other day in this entire season, this would be a no-brainer for Devontae Smith.
How about James Cook or Bucky Irvin?
James Cook.
James Cook. All right. Bucky Irvin for me. Jake Ferguson or Marquez Valdez Scantling?
Oh. Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson.
If he goes back to what he was doing before the concussion, if it was like an extremity that was injured, I'd feel a little more apprehensive about it. But
yeah, usually the guys coming off the concussions, they're once they're back, they're back.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco, or Nick Chubb?
DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco, Nick Chubb. I'll go Pacheco. No, I won't. I'll go DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I agree. DeAndre Swift. DK Metcalf, DK Metcalf or TJ Hawkinson?
I think this is a Metcalf game.
Metcalf. I agree. Malik Neighbors, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen regardless, but especially if Moore doesn't play.
Right. Yeah, Keenan Allen for sure. I agree. But I'm not even going to ask. Should I? I'm not. Whatever. CeeDee Lamb or DeAndre Hopkins? Is this 2020?
I need to look at my rankings. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb.
How about Tony Pollard or James Cook?
James Cook.
All right. I think I'm gonna go Tony Pollard, but I don't know. For some, there's always been a James Cook wall.
I know, and I always pick him
Can't
pretty
break
much
through it.
because you hate him. No, but I love James Cook.
How about this question from Grant? It's the greatest, the best, most helpful question we got. Should I start or sit Tua? Just should we start or sit Tua? Like, what a waste of a question. Who's your options? No idea. How about Lad McConkey or DJ Moore?
Do I start Tua or just go without a quarterback?
Who knows? Who knows? He just says, do I start Tua or should I sit Tua? I get wild questions on TikTok. Wild questions.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll just say I've got Tua ranked 10th overall in my quarterback rankings.
Tua ranked 10th overall in the quarterback rankings. All right. Which defense to start? 49ers or the Cardinals? 49ers are playing the Bears. Cardinals are playing the Seahawks.
49ers.
49ers against the Bears. Yeah, I agree. Even though the 49ers, that's a banged up defense, and there's, I think, a chance that the Bears offense goes off, but there's also a pretty good chance that Caleb Williams throws a pick, gets sacked, strip sacked, all those things that give you fantasy points in defensive setting there. T. Higgins or AJ Brown?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Bucky Irving or Chuba Hubbard? That's got to be Bucky Irving, right?
Yeah.
How about in PPR, Bryce is asking Isaiah Pacheco, or I'm gonna guess this is Rachaad White, even though it's spelled wrong.
I'll go Rachaad White in PPR here.
Okay.
I'm kind of changing course on Pacheco a little bit.
I think I got them close, but I believe my rankings are going to agree with you. Yeah, I got Rachaad White 2 slots ahead of Isaiah Pacheco. I think we're close to getting full Pacheco, but we're still 1 or 2 weeks away from full Pacheco role. So yeah, let's go Rachaad White. Pat Freiermuth or Cade Otton?
Freiermuth.
All right, Freiermuth. I'm still going to go Cade Otton there, but Freiermuth is definitely a really good play this week. Chuba,
yeah, don't get me wrong. Cade Otton could do just fine. I just think Freiermuth is going to do better.
Yeah, no, he's probably going to be the number 1 target in that passing game this week now. Rico Dowdle or Calvin Ridley? Now we got the great matchup for Rico Dowdle against the Bengals, and we got the revenge game narrative plus a great matchup for Calvin Ridley.
Revenge game
Ridley.
I'm going revenge game Ridley.
All right, I agree. Jacob is asking Isaac Guerendo season or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Isaac Guerendo.
It's Isaac Guerendo Day for all those who celebrate. I celebrate.
That's right.
Isaac Guerendo Day. How about James Conner or Zach Charbonnet?
Zach Charbonnet.
I agree. Zach Charbonnet. Russell Wilson or Matthew Stafford? Who is 1259?
Man, I'm really upset about Russell Wilson now. Matt Stafford.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Matthew Stafford.
It's not an ideal matchup, but
no, it's not. But how about from Jacob? Last question. Lineup this week is Patrick Mahomes, Jacobs. Oh, I think he's just telling us this matchup. All right, so we already answered it. It's Isaac Guerendo Day.
Let Isaac Guerendo and Braylon Allen Day commence.
Let's do it. Yes. Yes, it's handcuff running back season. We are here to celebrate.
Yes.
All right, it's 1:00. It's time for football. Good luck, everybody, this week. Thanks for tuning in, and happy Isaac Guerrero Day.